Hello everyone, I'm so proud to present you my new grading ruler that I first created to allow my students to be able to do their garment to their size. It all started about 6 years ago when I realized that an introduction to grading techniques of about 6 hours is not enough to understand grading. Plus, it's such a repetitive task. There's a lot of mistake possibility and it's so much time consuming that the students don't do it. I then decide to make them do a permanent grading tool on a piece of acetate. So I provide them the grading point on a sheet and they transfer them making holes on an acetate. The idea was good but takes some time and wasn't 100% accurate. In the same time, I did the video that you might have seen on how to make the tool and how to use it. My students loved the idea, and from the video I had comments from people all around the world, student, designer, and teacher, asking me for the PDF document. The teacher were asking me if they could use my technique in class with their students. So due to that big response and with the encouragement of my student and family, I decided to produce them and I came up with a much better product. So here it is. First, let me show you the bodice. It's exactly the one that I used to grade the bodice that I showed on my previous video. So you could see all the sizes that the ruler allow you to do. So this is bodice. Then let me show you the ruler for the sleeve. So that's what it looks like. Half a sleeve that you could use for both sides of the sleeve. Then you have the skirt, the most simple one, and finally the fourth one is the pant grading ruler that I will use for my today's demonstration. Okay, so now let's see the main characteristic of my tool. The first one is that you don't need to know how to grade to use it, and the second one is that because everybody's free to do the pattern and grade the size they want, this tool doesn't use numbers but use a color code that you could see on the chart that refers to the point that you have around the drawing. The drawing of a basic pattern on each ruler eliminates the possibility of making a mistake. As you could see, the ruler offers 10 different sizes and 5 different grading steps. Also, you could notice that it's transparent, so it could be used for right side pattern or left side pattern. So the tool could be used with an awl when you do multiple sizes or with any fine marker. Okay, so now let's see how it works. The first thing you do is to trace your pattern piece and make sure you have enough space all around to do your multiple sizes. Okay. When your tracing is finished, you layer multiple paper so you could do all your sizes and you place your work over a piece of cord so you don't damage the working surface. Okay, so the next thing you do is you look at the chart and you select the sizes that you want and remember the color that you want to use. Then you take your tool and you place it on a first point to grade. So I'm going to start with the waist and side seam of my pant. So I overlap the waist and side seam points and I hold it with my awl. Then I pivot my tool until one of the parallel line is parallel to my grain line. So when your tool is in position, you're going to go with your awl or your fine marker for one size. You're going to point on every sizes you want. Holding your awl very straight for more accuracy. Then you move to your next point. So for my pant, I'm going to move the tool at the hip level on the point Again, I'm just going to hold it and pivot until my grain line is parallel to one of the parallel line, and point all sizes I need. So when the grading is done, that's what you see, each point on the contour of your piece. Okay, so now when you're done, you're going to remove your staple and separate the layers. So the last thing you have to do is connect the dot, just like a normal grading. So you take your basic size, and depending on which size you want to trace, I'm going to do 2 sizes bigger now. You're placing your block, touching the points, and tracing. Two sizes. And 2 sizes. So always extend a little bit your line for the bigger size, so you have enough reference to continue your tracing. The dart is moving all with the same measurement, so you could trace it all one shot. Always a little bit further. I'm connecting. Same thing for the side seam. 2 sizes bigger. My notch and the bottom. So I only have to trace or mark my punch hole. So 2 sizes higher is the size I'm doing, this one here. And you write down your information and cut your pattern. So those grading rulers are now available on my site, toolfully.com, and I made them in limited production. So be the first to have it. I hope you enjoy, and see you next time.